Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Thriving Family series. This is Dr. Padilla with Thrive Family Chiropractic. I am a chiropractor in the Northeast Florida region. My focus is on wellness care, family care, and I specifically work with children and women to improve women's health through any stage of their life, but also family care in general. These series, if this is the first time you're watching us, we've been recording these series about every 2 weeks, and we're working alongside different healthcare providers and health workers and businesses in the Northeast Florida region that focus on that wellness mindset as well, because it's one of the big bases of Thrive Family Chiropractic and the practice in general. So today I'm really excited to have with me Dawn Carrie. She is a good friend, and we've been working together now for almost a year, I think. It's been a little bit now. So Dawn is a mindset coach, a high-tech consultant, national speaker, and advisory board member for multiple initiatives pushing the envelope to move our planet forward, one person at a time. As a mindset coach, she helps people break through challenges in their life to have more clarity and focus to achieve at their peak performance. I know Dawn is very focused on helping people channel their energy and find mindset strategies to work through those mental blocks and those blocks in life, whether you're a business owner, whether you are a single mom, whether you're trying to deal with parenting, new changes, new norms in your life. So what she's doing is really, really important right now for us and for the community we're in, because we are facing a lot of different challenges as business owners. I know Dawn works a lot with different business owners and people trying to get to those next levels in life, whether it's personally, with their business, with their family, any type of goals in mind, from, like I said, from a business goal to just having more energy to be able to get ready to train for a marathon. We were talking about this the other day. And these are the kind of works, the kind of things that she does with different clients. So it's really exciting. Dawn has a position as well with the NSF, which is the National Science Foundation. She is a board member there, and she, along with the rest of the board members, she is helping to formulate plans to build roles at the human technology frontier. For example, how humans use artificial intelligence in their workplace. And this, of course, will trickle down into higher education and eventually, hopefully, primary and secondary education as well. So Dawn, can you tell us a little bit more about what you're doing with the NSF? It sounds really interesting.
Sure. Thank you for that excellent intro. So I actually have been working on that committee. It is called the Future of Work, and it is out of DC. And my role there really is I'm on the industry advisory board with 11 other folks, and we have quarterly meetings on the phone, and we provide input based on our industry and really how to look at these roles and build these roles out so that we can be leveraging artificial intelligence as well as other enlightened technologies for the future of work. So it's pretty exciting. It's really fun. With my background and the things that I'm doing as a coach, it's really fun to bring the human side of it to the technology world. And so that's something that's really been a focus for me over the last year, is to really look at that and see how those two come together in a beautiful place. So.
Wonderful. Well, you're very good. I've noticed through the time we've been working together and in the same circles that you're very good at connecting different ideas and different talents that people may have and making them not only work for them, but also finding like ways to connect different businesses. So you're very good at that. And I enjoy listening to all these big ideas you have, and like you're like, oh, it's totally easy. We can just do it like this and this and that. And I'm like, yeah, she has a point. It's very easy to do. So I appreciate that type of energy. It's really refreshing to have people around you like that. So today, just like for those of you who have never followed us before, or this is the first episode you're watching, we try to focus on like a 5-tip kind of like discussion. So today Dawn is going to talk about 5 steps for growth without energy bankruptcy. And that is a really, really important thing right now. The changes we're experiencing in life and in society can lead, there's two options, right? Like you either push forward and take all that anxiety and all that energy and turn it into creativity, or you kind of like sink down and just let the whole weight of all this kind of fall on you. And sometimes we have to go through one to get to the other. That's kind of me. But you definitely have some good ways of helping us with that. So I'm excited to learn this today. Thank you for being here.
Sure, thank you very much. That was a good way to put it. And that's definitely one of the key components, is really bringing out that creative side. So I'm going to go in order because they really do build on each other, and they become more effective if we take them kind of from the first one to the end, and we continue to apply them. So the first step really is to get grounded, and we can ground ourselves in a lot of different ways. But the simplest and quickest way sometimes is we could either do a breathing exercise, or we can simply take our shoes off and walk barefoot in the grass, which is my favorite. So there's lots of ways to do this, like I said, but we can do this all day long. The most important time to do it is first thing in the morning. And the reason why is because it brings us to a place of being centered. And if we can kind of let everything go in the beginning of our day before everything gets going, we can just kind of settle in and we can find ourselves in a place of calmness. That way, when our day gets going and things start to get a little crazy, we can kind of recall that memory of what it felt like to have that calmness, to have that grounding, and we can bring ourselves back there, or we can simply ground again. So that's the reason why it's the first thing, and why it's so important to if you do nothing else in your day to start your day, that's the one thing that I would recommend. So the second thing is I really like to redefine things, and I talk a lot about redefining work and redefining productivity. So that is the next step, is redefining productivity. And it goes hand in hand with redefining work, but there are ways that we can start to think about these things differently. So if we can change our mindset just a little bit on what we think as productive, we can find creative ways to solve problems. We can find different ways to bring up our energy just based on changing the way we're doing something, or changing the things that we are doing. And so this is a really fun thing to do, and I go through this in detail in the guide. For each one of these steps, I give ideas and examples and things like that. So the third thing is redefining priorities. So you already can kind of see how they build on each other, you know. And so I know for me, I personally get caught up in not only the things that I expect of myself, but also the things that others expect of me. And, you know, there's an opportunity for us to kind of put those things aside and really look at the things that truly need to get done. So, and these are ways that what we're really doing is we're letting go of some of the things that don't need our time and attention, and we're freeing up that energy to then reallocate it to the things that really are going to help us grow. So then the fourth thing is what you touched on earlier, is finding that creative outlet. You know, and for me, this was always, okay, when I get everything else done, I'll reward myself with time for myself, right? Seriously, when is everything done? Never, right?
Yes, there's always something new.
We're smart people. We're always thinking of new things to do, especially as moms. I mean, you know, we there's always things for us to be doing, and even just as women, you know, we want to make sure everybody else is okay. You know, we really want to be there for people. It's very heartfelt and loving, right? But we also have to remember self-responsibility. And we can be more giving to others if we're not pouring from an empty cup. So that's why this one is so important. Even though it feels like just something fun and, oh yeah, maybe I'll get to that if I have time. It really is an important step for us to be able to give ourselves that time, because inherently as humans, we really are creative, you know, and we just forget that. And so to give ourselves that outlet, it's what fills us up sometimes. And so when we think about our level of energy and we're always doing things that tap our energy, when do we fill ourselves up? And then taking that to our last step, which is prioritizing you. And this sounds like the simplest, right? But is actually the hardest.
It really is.
It really is.
So I love this. I love it. They totally make sense in the order you describe them, because you can, it almost seems like you can't get to one without not completing, because these are not like, you know, tasks. I feel like if you were to make these tasks, they would just become taxing for you as well, and would just kind of take away that mindfulness from them and that fun out of it, rather than making it like, oh, I have to force myself to be here in order to move forward. Mm-hmm. But I like that you said the whole just walking barefoot. I tell my patients that all the time. I'm in the office, I'm barefoot half of the time. You probably see me barefoot in the office at some point. And they're like, I promise I'm not crazy. My mom would probably kill me if she sees me, because she was always, put your shoes on.
Right, yes.
But it's such a nice thing. And for me personally, that is something very grounding. Walking outside barefoot, like walking on the beach, just standing in the sand and just like digging your feet into it. Of course, now we have the opportunity to go outside and go to the beach, which is great. But it is so important. So I'm glad you mentioned that, and that you pointed out that this should be ideally done in the morning, because it's when our minds are a little more clear, and we can spend it, probably the easiest time to take like a couple minutes for yourself in the morning. I know I do that. I actually put my yoga mat in my bedroom. So I literally have to walk over it to get out of my room. So there's no excuse for me to take a couple minutes to just do a couple sun salutations or like a little stretch, because I'm literally walking over it with purpose. And I'm like, oh, I am stepping on the yoga mat. I should probably use it.
Good.
Yeah. So, and I like the redefining priorities. As a business owner, that is probably one of my biggest challenges. I'm not a mom, so I can only imagine working and having to add also the home priorities for a family and kids and all of these things. And like you said, we as women try to always, in any capacity, we always try to make sure everyone else is okay before we check on ourselves. But making lists, I think it's something really important. I read this, I actually got this from some business coaches I've worked with in the past, and they're always saying, you know, instead of forget about the 1,000 things that you have to do, because like you said, there is always going to be something else to add to the list. Like there's never going to be like, oh my gosh, I'm done with everything. Like that'll happen maybe the day you die.
What does that look like? Yeah,
I have no idea. I've been waiting for 3 years for that to show up in my business. But instead of making a list of like 20 things, just giving yourself 5 tasks to do in a day. And that sensation of being able to check something off and to see and to make it like, okay, can this wait to tomorrow? What do I absolutely have to do today? And just making it maybe 5, maybe 10, depending on how much time you have to work that day. I usually try to do anything between 5 and 10. And that ability of being able to write things off and say, I completed this, and look at your list at the end of the day and say, oh my God, I got everything done today. It gives you that sensation of accomplishment. And then you can say, it brings in the whole, oh, maybe now I can take a little time for myself. And I can go do something creative that's going to distract me from something else, because I got everything in my list that I needed to accomplish. So I think it feels better, and it visually, I think it stimulates the brain a little differently than if you just say, oh my gosh, I have 15 things on this list and I only got 3 done. From a
Right.
perspective, it's overwhelming. At least for me, it was totally overwhelming. So I have it here. I have this little notebook. It doesn't fit a lot of things in it, which is great. But so there's only a limited number of tasks that I can put in one page. And I have one with like everything. And then I have one that's like, today, this is what I'm going to do.
Okay.
And I'm going to give myself some grace. And if I don't get through everything, because giving time to myself is also really important. People who know me personally know I'm all about the self-care. Not like, you know, spas and massages, and even though I love my massages, but just like, you know, for me, self-care is just going for a walk around the park. Like that's just, it's grounding it. I get, you know, it opens my creative side. So it's really, really important to find those things.
I agree, because those are the things that fill us up. So we think about, you know, we've got a limited amount of energy, and if we're we're spending it all on these lists, like you said, and then rolling, oh, whatever I didn't get done, I have to roll over to the next day. And then how demotivating is that to start our day feeling like we're already behind, right?
Yes.
That's a total energy tap.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's just like at that point you start to feel like, well, should I even try, you know, today? And then that just spirals into some negative mindsets that are not going to help in any way. Well, this was awesome. Thank you so much. Is there anything else you wanted to add in regards to what we discussed today? I love that these can be applied to anyone, whether you're a business owner, whether you're a mom going through motherhood, like with a newborn baby, whether you are tasking on virtual schooling now or anything like that. So thank you so much.
That's exactly right. Yeah, so basically my guide goes into these in detail. So if anybody wanted to get those, they could go to my website. It's dawncarrie.com. That's DAWNCARRIE.com. And from there, actually, I offer a breakthrough session, which is totally free. And we get on the phone together and I help you implement one of these. That's your biggest challenge. And we work to actually implement it immediately in your life for you to see results. So definitely wanted to explain that offer.
Of course. I have a quick question. Some people may not know what a breakthrough session is or what you do.
Sure. Yep. In a breakthrough session, if I have spoken to you and I really feel like it's a good partnership that we could work together and the things that you're trying to accomplish, I could help you with, I will offer a breakthrough session. And we will do a virtual session, kind of like this, where we will talk through some of the biggest challenges that you have, as well as some of your goals. And using not only the techniques in this guide, but any other techniques that I have, I can help to help somebody see results right away in the breakthrough session. That's why it's called the breakthrough session. And it's really fun. It's one of my favorite things to do. And we, of course, will talk about some other ways that we can work together. I have a lot of cool programs. I have a Roadmap to Freedom coaching program that I'm really having a lot of fun with. A lot of these techniques have really helped my clients transform their life and find new energy in every day. Really look at, some of the roadblocks they're having, like with motivation. Sometimes it's just a simple, quick mindset change that we can have that can literally transform how we are going about our day and our lives.
Perfect. Thank you so much. I'm glad you explained that, because this is kind of why I wanted to have you on the series, and why I wanted this to be shared with my families in the practice, because a lot of parents are going through the navigating, especially moms, navigating that whole postpartum period. And a lot of them always say they feel like they lose themselves when they become moms, and like they have these goals, or they now have transitioned to being at home and they want to do more. They want to maybe have an idea for a business, or they want to go back into the working arena and they don't know how to manage all of that. This is huge. A lot of times it's just kind of channeling, like you said, channeling that energy and focusing into these these big ideas into creativity. So I'm so glad that you shared this and that you explained that, because I think this is something very helpful for a lot of women out there that are going into new spaces or having some challenges in different stages of life.
It really is. I'm so glad you said that, because I can really relate. You know, when you become a parent, it's like we start to just kind of put everything into our children, and we really do forget ourselves. We don't mean to, but it's just because we have so much profound love for our children. We just put everything into them. And there is absolutely ways for us to give our very best to our children, but also give back to ourselves. Yeah, there's a great opportunity there.
Right. Thank you so much, Dawn. I always enjoy talking to you so much. I always leave with like more ideas of things I want to do. So I really appreciate you. And again, if you want to have a conversation with Dawn, she has her free breakthrough sessions, which are virtual. And if you want to learn more about her work, it's dawncarrie.com. That is DAWNCARRIE.com. You can find her on social media as well. It's Dawn Carrie, correct? Okay, absolutely. Well, thank you so much.
My Instagram is Dawn Carrie too. Yep, Dawn Carrie.
Dawn Carrie #2.
Yep.
Yes, perfect. Well, thank you for everyone watching. Thank you for being here, Dawn.
Thank you for having me. This was wonderful.
Thank you. And if you are looking for more information on chiropractic care and wellness, please visit my page. It's Jax, J-A-X, mobilechiropractor.com, or on social media, Jax Mobile Chiropractor on Instagram and Facebook. Thank you again for watching, and I look forward to sharing one with you guys in a couple weeks. Take care.
Thank you. Bye.